Hello and welcome back to another short video. So what we're looking at today is Git and GitHub. So what we're going to do is create our account. So we're going to use the sign up button here, and it is a pretty cool sign up process, so definitely worth doing just for the facts of the sign up process. So create your password, Duncan codes. Okay, so we've got two verification puzzles. Pick a spiral galaxy. Let's do that. There we go, and create an account. Okay, let's go to the Gmail. There we go, so we've got our Gmail account. Let's copy our code. We should be able to paste that in. How cool is that? Skip that for now. Right, so this is our main screen. You can see here on the top left we've got an option to create a repository. When you log in normally, you will probably be faced with a screen that looks a bit like this. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to log out of this account and I'm going to sign in with my one that I normally use, just so I can show you what one could look like. So normally, my login, I go to github.com/dskilton, so I get this as my sort of landing page. And there's quite a bit going on here, but nothing, too horrendous. So you've got your username and bits and pieces on the left, people you follow, people who follow you, any projects that you've liked. Go browsing through all the different projects, you can star them, the organisations that you're a member of. This is quite cool, your pinned projects, so you can customise your pins here. So for you guys, it would be great if you put a University of Helsinki one on, and I'll show you how to add the University of Helsinki projects to your GitHub if you don't know already. These are all the contributions that have been made in the last year, and you can change that if you would like. So activity overview, and you can change that back to private contributions if you want. I usually leave mine on this. I think that seems to be pretty much the default for most people, although I could be wrong. And then down here you've got a bit more of a breakdown. You can see that I've created a test repository here, which I'm actually going to delete because I like the fact that they call their bits that make changing ownership and things the danger zone. That's quite cool. Right, let's quickly get rid of that. Cool, so that's gone. These are the projects that I've been working on recently, and that sort of tallies with these green blocks here. The darker the green, the more commits that you've created or made, or have been made actually. So these ones say that they've been done or completed by a colleague. I was just logged onto the wrong account, it was all me. So what I'm going to show you now is how to create a new repository. And a repository basically just stands for sort of like a project structure or project. And there are a few ways you can do it. So you can go to repositories, click new. You can go to repositories here and click new, or you can click on this plus icon here and do new repository. So what I'm going to do is create one for the University of Helsinki. Just quickly pop back here. So you'll note on the left here it tells us what languages your projects use. So we've got Java, Swift, PHP, Python. So these are all the projects that I've sort of had involvement with or created. So for our University of Helsinki one, I'm not going to say that it's a Java project because it already tells us that. So I'm going to say Uni of Helsinki MOOC or something like that. It doesn't really matter too much what you call it, I don't suppose. You can add a description in if you would like to. You can change it to public or private. Certainly for this one I'd recommend keeping it public so that future employers can see it. If you're working on a project that you want to keep away from prying eyes, because remember everyone's going to be able to see anything you put into a public project, you can change it to private. You can add readme files, git ignores. So the git ignore would be if you have any sensitive data like passwords, usernames, you would want that file to be ignored. But all you really need is a name, and that's it, and then you can click create repository. And then we've got these useful bits of code here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to download git bash. So if we go to git download, it will be Git for Windows, and then you can click download. So let's save that. Wait for that to install. I'll close this now. So my installation will be slightly different to yours because I've already got Git installed, but I will talk through the process anyway. So you've got your public license, just so that everyone can use it. Bits that you can add on, so if you want different icons, that's fine, you can do that. Here it says about Git Bash, and I mentioned Bash already. Git Bash is just the command line view. It's not as bad as you may think it could be. It's once you know the basic commands, it's pretty straightforward. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that open actually. I'm not gonna change it. I don't want the GUI. I've never used the GUI. The thought of using the GUI over the bash scares me a bit, I must admit. And it gives you this sort of space that you're gonna use. Click install. Oh, I need to close it because I've got it open. Right, just a sec. There we go. Let's close that. There we go. So if I refresh that now, we can get it installed. There we go. So it shouldn't take too long to install. Literally, I don't know, 10 to 20 seconds perhaps. Okay, we'll pretend that didn't happen, we'll ignore that. Hopefully you guys didn't get any errors. So I unclicked the view release notes. I'm going to do launch git bash, like so. What actually I'm going to do is move that over there. I'm going to put this on the left. Can I make that smaller? Yes, there we go. Right, I'm going to open a file explorer as well. There we go. So now we've got our GitHub account with a fresh repository. We haven't done anything with this yet. We've got our git bash installed. We've got our file explorer open, and I'm going to delete that, and then I'm going to open TMC NetBeans. We're not going to do any coding, really. I'm just going to find the projects folder for the work that we've been doing with the University of Helsinki. So what I'm going to do is click on one of the projects here. Then I'm going to right click on it and go to properties. And then if we go to sources here, we get the folder location for our projects. So we are going to copy that. We can actually probably close this now. Let's get rid of that. Put the screen back. And then we're going to paste that in to our file explorer. And I'm just going to get rid of this last bit. We don't want to open the print stars thing. So I'm going to press enter. And there we go. We've got our project folder here. Okay, so we've got plenty of things to look at. We could go into each individual project and upload each one individually, but probably for the amount of projects that we've done and will continue to do, I think it would make sense to upload this entire folder, this MOOC Java programming, rather than each of these individually. What we're going to do is copy this link here. I'm going to click on to our git bash and I'm going to type in C and D for change directory, and I just press Ctrl V to paste it in. We don't press Ctrl V in bash. I'm going to press insert and enter. Let's just try this again. It might not like it because I didn't put double quotes around. Oh, there we go. So it's just the double quotes missing. So now we're inside our MOOC Java programming -i folder. I've got, if you go to view and then hidden items, you'll be able to see the process, or a bit of the process that we're going to follow now to initialize this as a Git folder, a Git project. So here on the left, it gives you a bit of an idea of what you can type. We are going to type some of this, but not all of it. So the first thing we're going to do is initialize this folder as a Git repository. So we're going to type in git init, as in git initialize, and press enter. And you can see it says initialized empty Git repository. And you can see here that we've got this new folder that's just appeared, and now it's recognized as a Git project. We also need to make sure that all of these folders are going to be tracked, so that any changes we make locally are then made on the GitHub website as well. So we're going to use the git add and full stop command for that. If you press enter, it will add all of those in. You can see that absolutely everything we've done has been uploaded. Okay, and the good thing is that so far we haven't had any sort of red lines appear. Let me just move this up a bit. If I move that one there. So if I was to type in, I don't know, git cheese, you would see that we get a bit of an error and it tells us that this isn't a correct command. So in this case, if we don't get an error, we know it's worked. So far we've initialized, we've added. What we're going to do now is a commit. And a commit is getting our project ready to be uploaded. It's going to give the project some notes, some information. So we're going to say that this is our initial commit. Like that. It's normally a lot quicker than this because the project's quite large, it takes a few seconds. You can see here that we've got this turquoise thing that says master, and that means that we're working on the main branch or the main sort of bit of the file. You can take copies of a file and work on the copy and then merge it with the master, and you can see here that we've got git branch m main, so this would change our branch to the main. I'm going to keep mine on master because it's only my projects. I'm not going to be too upset if I lose all of them. It's not the end of the world. But when you're working in industry, the chances are you are probably going to want to work on different branches of the project, and they will be checked probably by your senior developer, and once they're happy you would put a merge request in and get them uploaded. Okay, so we're going to keep ours on master for now. So we've added our initial commit message. What we're going to do is just copy this, and we're going to use the insert key to paste that in. There we go. And then the last thing we're going to do is push upstream to origin and master. So here it says to do it to the main, but you can see here in this turquoise that we're using the master branch. So we'll press enter, and then you can see that everything's all done. So we've had all 1,469 files uploaded at a speed of 1.2 megabits a second, which isn't really that important, but you can see that it's done. So if we click back here and refresh the page, so you can use F5 on your keyboard or press it, you can see that all of our project has been uploaded, which is great. So now you can showcase this on your GitHub page. You can use github.com and / your username on your CV, and it will take the person here. So keep your usernames relatively sensible, and you will be able to track your progress and see the commits that you've made and have all of the information contained in one part. Okay, so as we progress on to part 4, we'll be updating these and adding more to them. So have we done all of these? Okay, so this one here, line by line, so some of these will be relatively blank. So if we go to first words, I don't believe we've done this one yet. So there you go. So as we come to complete these parts of the course, we will update these and they will be updated and they will have information in them. So when we finish a project on the University of Helsinki, we'll use git add and the full stop to add any changes that we've made. We'll do git commit, and what we could say is completed, and this is just an example, part 1, different types of input, for example, like that. So I'm getting the message saying that mine's up to date, which it is because we've just done it. And then all we would need to do is do git push u origin and master, and then as we make changes to it, it will show which folder we've made changes to, so it would say updated a few seconds ago, and it would track the progress that we've been making on this project and how often we've updated it and sort of maintained it here. Okay, so it's a really good tool to be aware of. It's something good that you can put on your CV. There is quite a bit more to it than that, but we go back to this Git for Windows, and where is it? Oh, it's this one. You can download it from either website, it doesn't matter. But here we've got some documentation, and we've got the reference manual and an entire book that you can download. Okay, so you can download this, it's free, it doesn't cost anything. There's a few different videos here which are worth looking at. So it will give you an idea of what version control is, what Git is, and that will give you an idea of the difference between Git and GitHub. So GitHub is a bit like Facebook, but for code. So you can upload all of your projects there to showcase them to employers, and Git is the language that we use to do that. So this is going to be quite useful if you wanted to have a look at. And then you've got the reference manual as well, which has a bit of a contents and a bit of a breakdown of all the different commands that you can use. And then, like I say, you've got that book as well. So I hope that's helped. Any questions, please let me know. You're welcome to contact me on Instagram or using the email on the YouTube channel. So you're welcome to use the email dskilton.codes@gmail.com, which can be found on the About Us section of the YouTube channel. And I am working on the next University of Helsinki video this afternoon, so hopefully, in fact, that will be ready by the weekend, for the weekend. And until then, good luck and happy coding, and I will speak to you all later.